You know what this is? This is my friend Montel Williams. He recently posted, I love him too, he recently posted this video on his Facebook page. And here's the caption, it says, 15 years ago, when I was diagnosed with MS, I was told I will be in a wheelchair in 4 years. Instead, I chose to live up to my own expectations, not down to those of others. Not bad for an almost 60-year-old. That's his text. Today, he is here to reveal how he has defied the odds and how you can too. He's the man who knows no limits, Montel Williams. It is so good to have you here.
Good to see you, sir.
So let's go over this thing. So
Yes.
I saw this video, of course, captivated by having known many friends with MS who have suffered so much. You developed a whole different philosophy, was to choose to live up to your own expectations, not down to others. So how has this gotten you there? How does snowboarding help you?
We have to. What happened is, when I got diagnosed with MS, and this is almost now 99, first time, 2000 reconfirmed, the first doctor that diagnosed me looked me in the face and said, basically, go home and die. Because you're not gonna be able to work, you're gonna do this. He starts telling me all these things that he thinks I'm gonna be. Yeah. And I'm not knocking docs, Doc, but you know, if docs were God, none of us would be sick.
That's right.
And he doesn't have a crystal ball. So I got really angry and I thought, how dare you tell me that I have to live down to your expectations rather than up to mine? I'm not gonna go home and figure out how I can die easier. I wanna go home and live the rest of my life. And so I applied myself to living.
So obviously, having a life-threatening illness like MS, it focuses you. For the many folks out there who just want to live a better life, how do they apply this philosophy?
But here's what's so amazing, Doctor, is that for everybody sitting in this room, do you know that right now we have 100 million people in this country who have stated unequivocally that they have pain that affects their life on a daily basis?
100 million.
100 million. And this isn't something special about MS. Stop listening to people who tell you that you can't. This is what your grandmother said to you, your mother said to you. Start believing in what you can do and work on what you can do.
So let's go back to this science issue you brought up.
Yes, sir.
So there's real meat here. The brain is hardwired. Most of us think that. Sort of like you might hardwire a battery or a car. And when you have damage of those wires, I was taught, anyway, going through med school, that it's permanent. That you've defied the odds.
Well, we're finding out. The brain has the ability to heal itself. God gave us that. We are in nature. There are things that we can do to focus around our damage. So what have I been doing? Wait a minute, what have I been doing? So when they told me that I had MS and I'm not gonna be able to walk, I'm not gonna be able to do this, so I start walking a lot and walking and concentrating. Doctor told me, pay attention to my left hip flexor. So for 5 years, I walk with a mirror in front of me. There's a mirror there. I look at my entire body, my alignment. If you go back and look at the tapes of me coming on your show 4 years ago, I limped out that door.
You did.
I just walked to you.
Yeah.
Because I'm working on it every day.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Every
I remember
day.
that.
Every day.
I remember that.
I mean, sorry. So, I was told, like so many other people, you can't do this. You can't overcome your pain. Remember the first time we spoke about it? My primary symptom from MS is neuropathic pain. I've been diagnosed by the top doctors in the world. My pain was on a scale of a 1 to 10 5 years ago, probably about a 7, 5, 6. This is a miracle. I pay attention to some techniques that help me put that pain in a box.
How do you do that? Explain that for the many folks who are held back daily by this.
Watch this. While we sit here, my feet are on fire. Okay, but techniques I've learned. This entire interview, I've been pulling a string in between each one of your questions. What's that string about? I take my pain and mentally put it into a box, okay? Just like you at Christmas, I put it in a box, I put paper over it. I put a lid on it. I tie a string around it and I pull it tight. I do this mentally. I put my pain there. When it comes back like it did a couple seconds ago, that's where this tear comes from, because when I stop concentrating on it, it can come up. Sure. Pull the string, I tighten it up. Now, this isn't something that's gonna happen overnight. It took me 6 years to get it down to now where my pain is only there when I wanna think about it. And I try my best not to think about it. I'm rewiring the things that said, you hurt, and I'm turning it into, guess what, I feel pretty good.
You know what I love about this? It's not just about pain, folks, it's about depression, Yeah, all the chronic things, the anxieties that hold us.
Yes.
How did you learn this?
Let me tell you what was really kind of crazy is that I was seeking out every bit of information I could. And this is something I'm going to say to everybody here. You said, Montel, you have MS. I don't care what your illness is or what you think you have. The first most important thing anybody can do is get knowledge about your problem. If the doctors knew everything, you wouldn't be sick.
That's right.
You need to look at it yourself and understand what you can do to make a difference. So what did I do? I started studying this disease. And I found this really strange article in a book that was called The Brain That Changes Itself. So I look at this book, I'm going, really? Come on. But this is kind of what I've been doing. So that's when I put the mirror in front of me. That's when I started paying attention to everything I do. I pay attention to my illness, guys. I'm telling you, 2 to 3 hours a day. But what does that do for me? I'm living what would be, I think, a very normal life. I'm living a really very rewarding life because I can do anything I want to do, and my illness will never hold me back.
Who wrote the book?
There's a gentleman by the name of Dr. Norman Doidge.
Doidge?
Doidge, D-O-I-D-G-E.
Have you ever met him?
No. And he's got a brand new book out right now. The brand new book out is called the Brain's Way of Healing.
Yeah, I don't want you to have to introduce that because I never get to surprise you.
Huh?
Today I get to surprise you.
What?
Dr. Doidge is joining us.
What?
That's right over there.
Wait a minute. I looked at you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. I just looked over there in the crowd. I'm looking over here. I've never seen your picture. Is this crazy? Now you would think that I should have pulled your book up and looked for your picture. But wow. Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Honestly, wait. Can I say this? Again, I'm in the middle of the brain's way of healing, and it's amazing. Because this validates what I've been doing, right, sir? Is that true? I don't know.
Yeah, Dr. Doidge, why is it you and I, and not just doctors, most people who can hear our voices right now, have believed that we could not heal the brain the way Montel has?
Well, we really thought of the brain as a machine. And as he said, it's that we thought it was an electrical machine, and electrical machines are hardwired. Machines don't grow new parts. They don't reorganize themselves. And, one patient after another in the 2 books I describe were told they wouldn't get better. People with Parkinson's, not only MS and chronic pain, but stroke, traumatic brain injury, autism, learning disorders, certain kinds of attention problems. And they're being told this every day. And it turns out not only can the brain sometimes change, but that's actually how it works. It changes every time we do activities and have new mental experiences. So we can use this to drive change. And one of the reasons we can get really good results is we thought of the brain, we thought that when a person had one of these many illnesses, what happened is brain cells die, and that's all there is to it. But in fact, only some brain cells die in these illnesses, or some nervous system cells die. A lot of them are sick and they're firing at unusual rates, like a heart arrhythmia. So they're giving off a lot of noise, and your healthy cells are receiving that noise, so they can't work. So what we can do is we can find ways of speaking to the brain, talking to the brain in its own language of electrical firing, to resynchronize it and get really rapid results and lead to improvements in symptoms.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Come over here. I want to show you what
Sure.
Dr. Doidge is talking about.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Dr. Doidge.
Yes, sir.
So basically what he's saying is that we are like radio towers.
Right.
That's your brain. And when some of the brain cells, by the way, when they're functioning normally, it sounds melodic, it's beautiful, you can dance to it, you can snowboard to it, right?
Yep,
If you want.
absolutely.
But when something goes wrong, it's attacked by some injury, some virus, it starts making this crazy staticky sound. The brain is not only sending out the wrong kinds of sounds from some of its cells, but it can't receive it the right way. It's like your radio receiver is not quite where it needs to be. So Dr. Doidge's goal is to reset this, to eliminate the static. Again, using things you hear, things you see, things you feel, the way you have activity, so it sounds again the right way. So the brain functions appropriately as a receiver.
And what he's saying about adding exercise to conscious thought. I not only walk and look at my body, but I also talk to myself in a 20-minute period of time about my pain. But you can take away what is considered chronic pain by trying to hardwire good thoughts. So as I'm walking and exercising, I'm thinking about suppressing my pain. And it's working. and it's working. It's working better than anything I've done. In fact, I'm not taking any pain medication. A little bit. I'm not taking any pain medication, very little.
Yeah.
And I'm not taking any antidepressants because as I've been working on this, it's working on my whole self at the same
Dude,
time.
I'm gonna try this. You may not notice my fingers, everybody. See, they don't look so straight right now. I just broke this finger playing basketball over the weekend. So, and it hurts a lot. Right. And I'm too vain to put anything over it. And as a surgeon, I can't. But these are techniques I'm gonna start playing with because it hurts a lot.
Okay, easiest one for you to do right here is while we're walking. Yeah. Tell you what you do. Today, each time that thought hits your mind, when you move it and it hurts, the second you move it and it hurts, think about your granddaughter's eyes.
Oh my goodness.
I want you, every time you have a feeling of pain, and I know how much you love your granddaughter.
Little green eyes filling me.
Think about those eyes. Yeah. Okay, pain eyes. Look at those eyes. Look at those eyes. Look at those eyes. Pain eyes. All day long. Within the next 3 days, you're not going to feel that pain. And it's not just because it's going away. It's because you've made your brain think, when I sense pain, I think eyes. I'm telling you, that's what
I love it. I love it. All right, last thing, obviously, from day one, you have changed what you've put in your body.
Absolutely.
So walk us through this morning drink. You've been bragging about this darn thing everywhere. I know that it's made a big difference in your life.
Well, you know, I've told you over the last 5 years, I drank an inordinate amount of coconut water, about 30 to 42 ounces of coconut water every single day. Guys, I've been doing it. It's one of the most hydrated liquids on the planet.
Yep.
And I've been doing it. So I've been in search of really good product. And then, as I started reading the labels of some of the coconut water I'm drinking, there's so much garbage in this stuff. It's been pasteurized. They add the nutrients back in. So I found a brand, and I'm going to make sure everybody understands, I've now become the spokesperson for it because I want to change the way you out there are consuming your coconut water. I found a brand. It's called Actives. This Actives brand, I want you to do me a favor. Just all you got to do is look at the back. There's only 2 ingredients, coconut water and rice powder.
Yep.
There's no extra added salt, no preservatives, no additives. Why? Because the way we process this, it's 100% nutritious coconut water. So I take that as my base, and I'm taking somewhere around, I take, in this pitcher, it's 1 scoop for every 4 ounces.
Okay.
So I've taken 1 scoop right here. I think we've got 3 scoops. So, and then I take watermelon, because I love the lycopene. I like all the extra nutrients in watermelon.
I'm sloppy.
That's okay. I'll put them in.
I've only got 3 fingers I can use.
I'm also taking pineapple, and a banana, and I need a little water. But
Pretend we have water in there.
Once we add water to that, it comes up to this incredible shake. Now remember, I gave you some of this coconut water in your office.
Yes.
And compared to other stuff that leaves you that nasty taste, there's no nasty taste because there's nothing in there except for coconut.
You know, don't forget, give it to Dr. Doidge. This is our thank you present to him.
Doc, now you've taught us all how to heal.
Thank you.
How to heal with the mind. I'm gonna teach you how to heal from the inside.
Montel, love you, man.
Thank you, my friend.
Take care. Montel Williams.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss out on new videos to live the good life.